All right, hello everyone. The time is here. Let me adjust my mic real quick so it's comfortable. There we go. All right, so the time is 10:47 a.m. and it is May 28th. This is another update from Great Lakes Weather. I mean, it's obvious because the screen is right there, but we're gonna hop right into all the options that you can get into to subscribe to our different platforms: YouTube, Instagram, True Social, Twitter, Facebook, Telegram. What we're going to be talking about today is the potential for much warmer weather coming next week. It's not looking like a very active week of severe weather next week. In fact, it doesn't really look that bad at all. We may see some thunderstorms maybe Tuesday night into Wednesday, but it's looking more along the lines of the fact that it's just going to be hot weather, and then we're going to see a cool down later on in the week that's going to bring our temperatures even back a little bit below average, which they are, in fact, below average right now, and we're going to take a look at that as well. But just here's all the platforms. Make sure you take a chance when you can to subscribe to those or scan that QR code in the bottom right hand corner to stay connected. All right, let's get into it. So this is the current the updated most recent models from the GFS. We're going to be looking at a lot of models today, but we're really going to focus on temperatures because severe weather isn't really looking like that big of a threat as of right now, according to the latest models. Maybe a marginally severe threat Tuesday night into Wednesday. And I'm going to also take a look at the NAM because the NAM is kind of putting out some severe weather potential just west of us. So that means Wisconsin, Illinois coming Wednesday as well. So here is the current height anomaly. Again, this is a measure of the temperature changes in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Blue indicating colder than normal, red indicating warmer than normal. So just to give you a little bit of context there. But you can see you have a nice warm air mass. You have a ridge building in from the south here in the plains. This is actually going to drive a severe weather threat across the plains this week. We actually have 4 days of severe weather across that area, and it's actually going to be some pretty decent potential for damaging winds and large hail. Tornadoes don't seem like a huge deal today, so that's a good thing for them. But you can see that you have a cool air mass sitting over our area as of right now. High temperature is like 65 degrees today. That's the cooler air sinking from the upper levels of the atmosphere. So right now we're in a colder air mass, and that is why it is such nice weather, because you don't have that warm air that's rising in the atmosphere today either. So let's progress this forward. I want to show you what's going to happen over these next few days. You're going to have that ridge building in. It's not a very strong ridge at first, but it's going to, a lot of warm air is going to kind of settle into our area for Monday, Tuesday, and possibly parts of Wednesday as well. And it's really going to sit and build over, especially if you live in Michigan as well. So it's going to be quite warm if you are in the Great Lakes region. So temperatures in the mid 80s is looking like, with maybe some heat indexes in the upper 80s as well. So then we have this trough that's sitting here that's really going to drive more severe storms on the back side. Eventually, later on in the week, that's going to start to move into our area. But it looks like it's not going to be as strong of a air mass unless you're off to the north in parts of Canada. But other than that, it looks like some models are putting out a overall cooler than average beginning to the month of June, following this warm up for Memorial Day. So that is what the models are currently showing, and they're showing another ridge buildup on the back side of it at about around June 6th. That's according to the GFS. Again, the models can change that far out, so that's why we don't really go that far in to looking at them. All right, let's move on to the next frame. This is actually showing what the feels like temperatures will be. This is not showing the actual air temperature outside, but what the feels like temperatures could look like according to the ECMWF model. So right now we're in the 50s, 60s, maybe even the 40s in parts of Benton Harbor region, those counties in northern Indiana, southwest Michigan, due to the northwest wind we are seeing currently, bringing that colder air that's on the surface of the water into land. So that is why it's much cooler there than you would expect across parts of the rest of the area. Progressing it eastward, you can see that by nightfall, I don't think this is the most updated. This is the most updated that I can get. So you can see by this is Saturday morning actually, so you can see it stays kind of cool. We might get up close to 70 today, according to the ECMWF model. So by this afternoon, we might see around, feels like temperatures of 70 degrees, and really it's going to be around 65, 66 degrees today across much of the area. So a good night falls, we get down in the 60s, but then that warm air begins to build in, and we're getting into the 70s now And 70s are really going to stick around with us. Even overnight, we may get into the upper 60s, which means it's going to be rather humid air. You get temperatures in the 80s by Monday morning or by Monday afternoon, mid 80s, upper 80s as you head down south. It's going to be kind of a hot one on Monday. And let's continue with that, progressing it. We have also Tuesday, temperatures now getting into the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees. So that is the day where it's going to feel pretty hot. This is not the actual air temperature being represented, but this is the feels like temperature. So feels like temperatures in the upper 80s. You're going to want to have some water handy because it's going to be a hot one that day. And then you get that cold front beginning to move in on Wednesday, which will really start to drive temperatures down and push that really warm air mass down to the south. So that is what's on the table. Really, we're not sure about the thunderstorm threat with this just yet in our area. It doesn't really look that great on the models. So off to the west, it looks well in if I can use the term fantastic for severe weather, which is severe weather isn't fantastic, but it's really showing that potential off to the west. Not really here right now. And let's take a look at that real quick with the NAM model. So NAM model, this is the most recent update of the NAM as of 12Z. That's 7 a.m. Saturday time. So let's progress it off to the east a little bit. You can really see that activity with that low pressure system moving off into Minnesota. That stuff's going to likely be severe as it goes through that area. And really what I want to focus on is the latest update of the NAM for the latest time frame. This is as far as we can go in the current models. The current models will only allow us to go this far. They are showing some potential for severe weather in that area. I'm not sure if it's going to make it to this area though. So let's go to the farthest out model for the NAM, and let's get some soundings on these storms. Tornado potential is shown. Let's get a sounding for Kalamazoo County. Marginal severe potential. So really all we're seeing is a marginal severe potential, but again, the cold front really isn't in our area just yet. But I do want to take a look at the severe weather setup that could possibly be occurring. So you have surface base cave values, again a measure of instability in the atmosphere due to surface heating. That is around 1,500 in parts of southwest Michigan, lower in parts of Indiana and Ohio. But as this cold front moves eastward, I expect those values to rise a little bit. Not sure how much they're going to rise because we don't really have the models for that just yet. Let's get a measurement of, there's my dog just barking. So progressing this off to the east, it's okay. So progressing it off to the, let's take a look at this here. Bulk shear coming from the southwest. There is some wind shear associated with this storm. Let's get a measure of spin in the atmosphere. Spin is high on the back side of this front, so it doesn't really look like there's too much spin ahead of it. Supercell composite values of about 8 to 10. So again, this is just something we're going to have to watch over the next several days in order to be aware of the potential for incoming severe weather, which still uncertain about that just yet, but I will provide an update when that information comes available. Alright, that's really all I wanted to show. It's a rather short video today, but it's nice to just have a nice quiet weekend for Memorial Day. A little bit hot, but it's a good day, good weekend. So make sure you get an opportunity to enjoy it, and thanks for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful to you, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and get our information out there. So have a great rest of your day.